everyone, happy Friday. Oh, it's not Friday, is it? Thursday. Okay, 20 seconds in and I've already messed up. It's gonna be a good live. All right, we're going to see what we can do with this little guy tonight. Trying to get some Christmas items done. I'm behind since moving to a new home and getting over COVID, so I am a little bit behind, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint some Christmas tonight. So we're gonna paint a little Rudolph and see what we can do with that. This little cutout came from, I think, Erica Wallace with Wallace House Designs. Hi, Gail. Let me get everybody pulled up over here on my iPad so I can hopefully read comments. Mr. Pam is at a meeting, and so I thought, well, this would be a good time to go ahead and get something done. Trying to get ready for the paint party that we have Saturday. I'm so excited, so excited. It's like I'm a little crooked here. There we go. All right, so I've been packing, getting everything ready for that. I think we're all set. I'm gonna go get it all set up tomorrow night and get ready for everyone. So before I get started though, I wanted to show you, because I've been doing still doing some unpacking and trying to get moved in. Hi, Angela, hello. Everyone say hello as you come on. Hopefully we can see comments. They're a little bit delayed over here. I've got hummingbirds everywhere outside my window, so I'm gonna try not to get distracted, but they just fascinate me. But I just looked out and there's about 4 of them out there, and of course they're fighting each other for a hummingbird feeder that has 6 different outlets, spigots, so I don't know why they're fussing. Hello, Miss Peggy. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm seeing comments over here. I painted these guys a long time ago, but cut them out. This was my first router attempt to cut the back out to put a music box in. I do bandsaw, lots of different tools that I use. The router sometimes just gets the best of me. I'm a little bit afraid of it still. Hi, Rosie. But I cut these out myself and again had some router work. They usually have a music box in the back of them and a little round ball for the nose to wind it. But what I wanted to show you, I did them both in, and I just kept these for samples. I think I did 30 of them, but I did them in 2 different colors. And this is out of a book that I got. I should have gotten it out. I didn't think about it, but I don't even know if it's in print anymore. But I did it in the traditional colors and then did it in silver and the blue. This one I dropped on the floor really hard on a cement floor and cracked him. So I just use him as a sample now. But so much fun to paint those. But what I wanted to show you more than anything is using white sometimes can be scary, especially, hi Roxy, you have those but can't find the music boxes. I'll see what I can do. I don't remember where. I ordered them from I think it was a company called Clockit, CLOCKIT.com. I don't know if they're even still in business. It's been so long, so I'll have to see. But anyway, this one, I want you to see, I hope you can see what, hi Amanda, see the yellow across that white? I used to have problems with that all the time. That's the spray sealer that I used. I don't remember what kind I used on it, but no matter what I would paint white, they would yellow in some way or another. And when I was doing little girls' white furniture, and I did a lot of white shelves, and they would always yellow, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I've gone through so many different sprays. Well, I finally found one, and I know they have better ones, more better ones out there even now, but I use Minwax Polycrylic. This one is a clear gloss. I love it. Now, it's a little bit more expensive than what you would get at Walmart. And I know there's some Krylon and some things at Walmart that people have said they use and they haven't had a problem. But I've been using this now for years, and I've not had a single item yellow on me after using this. I got this at Lowe's, And I know Home Depot used to carry it. Walmart used to carry it, but I can't find it there anymore. I order it off of Amazon a lot of times, but it's Minwax Polyacrylic Crystal Clear Top Coat. This one's clear gloss, but you can get it in the matte or satin. And it's water-based. That's one of the main things you want to make sure of, is that it is a water-based. If it has, I can't think what it, I can't think what it is, but if it's not water-based, if it's oil-based, it will turn yellow. But this does not. I absolutely love it. And one can goes a long way for me. So just thought I'd give you that little tip. This one I used I don't even know what the brand was, but look at all that yellow on there. This one I used a few years later, the one that I dropped and broke on the floor, but I used this spray, no yellowing whatsoever. No yellow on it at all. And I did this one later, and you can see how much better my routing cutting is on that one versus that one. So a little smoother on the one I did later on. So keep at it. Practice, practice, practice. Don't give up. But the router still just, it's kind of a beast to me. I'm going to lay these down here. And I still get a little bit of afraid of it depending on what I'm doing. So depending on what's going on. When I use pine, it yellows. When you use pine with Minwax, it yellows, because I've used it on pine a lot. And I haven't had any yellowing whatsoever. Hi, Lauren, with it. Becca says, hi, Miss Becca. Hello, hello. Hi, Marie. And we've got Susie on here and Miss Ashlyn. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Move this out of the way. I'm going to bring you down. Okay. You haven't used this one. Okay. I was going to say, I've never had it give me any problems. So, all right. Let's go ahead and do, we're going to do a, what did I say? Honey brown. We're going to use honey brown on him, and I didn't realize this one hadn't been opened yet. I'm sure I've got some up there that are not open, but we're just going to go ahead and open this one. I like honey brown for gingerbread men and deer. So we'll just go ahead and get him base coated and see what we can do with him. This honey brown should cover okay, and I'm not going to worry about the edges because I'll go around them with a marker. So if I'm not doing live, sometimes I'll be a little more careful and go slow. But when I'm doing a live, I tend to try to go a little faster than I normally paint because I'm not a fast painter. I could be on here for 4 hours easily. We're going to go ahead and just base coat all of it, and we'll see what we do with his ears yet. I'm not sure yet how I want to do it. But I've got everything ready. Mr. Pam and I are going to go set everything up for the paint party. That's this Saturday. Talk to the owner of the restaurant, and he said he had everything ready. I asked him, I said, well, do we need to go out into the area, the dining area, to place our orders and eat? He said, oh, no, we'll bring it to you. So, okay, we can handle that. He's been very, very nice about accommodating us, giving me a price break. Okay, and that first coat went on really fast. So let's dry it and put a second coat on there. We could leave it like that. It gives it a little bit of a wood look with that grain showing through. But that's not the look we're going for tonight. I know, Marie, I've got to Sometimes I tend to forget to take photos, so I've got to remember to take pictures. I don't have a helper this time. Mr. Pam's going to help me set up, but he's going to be busy with some other things during the party, and sometimes I'll get one of my granddaughters to help me. But since we kept it small, because there are a lot of details on this one that we're painting, the snowman, so we can have some more one-on-one. So we'll have 7 there. And I got to thinking, I didn't want it really large. This will be our first time to try this, using this restaurant and the room they've got. So kind of wanted to make sure that it all goes well, how it goes before I try to have a larger party. So we'll see, fingers crossed. All right, gonna put a second coat of this honey brown on. Oh, well, that's good. Hello, Miss Renee. Good that you've got somebody that thought to take pictures, because when you're up there teaching and you're trying to remember all the little details and not to forget the door prize and make sure you pay the owner of the place, and you've just got so many things on your mind. And my mind is already, I've got another paint party in just a couple of weeks, and my mind's already wandering off to that, making sure I get everything in place. And I got a couple of orders this week that I need to get done, and then we're going to be out of town for 3 or 4 days at the end of next week, and so you have to keep your mind focused. We've got so many irons in the fire. That's what keeps us going. Keeps us going. And again, I'm not really worrying about getting it on the edges, because I know I'm going to go over it with a marker. And I'm not going to worry about a second coat on his antlers, because they're going to be a different color altogether anyway. Just want to get a good base on it. I have decided I may do a sunflower. So I'll have one for my front door, but I'm going in all Christmas now, girls, so winter and Christmas. All right, let's see if we got him covered okay. Let's go a little further up here. And I'm going to stain the back of this the same color, so I don't care if I get anything on the back, but I'll try to be neat. I say I'm not, and then here I am cleaning it up, because I say I'm not going to worry about it, and then I'm cleaning it up because I can't do it. There we go. Okay, so we've got him base coated honey brown. Isn't that pretty? I love that color. My kids accused me a long time ago of my house being just all tan. And I got to looking around, and they were pretty much right. I had tan everywhere. Some little hair there. So I repainted all the walls. This green that we have now, it's a real light, kind of a sagey green. So no more tan. I still like it. I'm going to thin some of this out with some water here. And then we'll go ahead and do some, let's go ahead and do his antlers. Let's do the antlers in, can't keep my towel up here. Let's see, let's do the antlers in toffee. do my cheetah print in that too. That's what I use it for a lot. Okay, so I'm going to use that same brush. Just cleaned it out. Yes, they do need the honey brown in a big bottle. I go through a lot of it. Hello, Miss Crystal. Hi, Pam. I'm painting and Renee's making t-shirts. Oh, cool. What are the t-shirts for? Anything special? I was thinking about, I bought so many hats when I was doing hats last year and year before, thinking I was going to do a ton more. And then I kind of got burned out on doing so many of them. They are a little time consuming. So I've got a bag up here with 50 hats in it. So I need to get them painted. But I've been wanting to do some more blue jean jackets too. Those are always fun to do, and they always sell well. I tell you, between moving and COVID, I just got really behind on all of my what I was gonna do list. Okay, and it'll take a second coat. Let's go ahead and dry that. Hummingbirds are actually looking in the window at me, trying to figure out what I'm doing. If I let that feeder go dry, they are right in my face, telling me about it. So I try not to let it go dry. Okay, and I might want to put a third coat on here just to be safe. Probably doesn't really need one, but I'd rather do it now than go forward and then wish I had have. Sometimes under these lights that I use to go live, it's hard to tell. Okay, let's get just a little more toffee out. Thanks, Miss Renee. Oh, for you and Adley. Those of you that were at our last paint party a year ago, I guess it's been, Renee had her granddaughter with her. You really didn't even know she was there. She was so quiet the whole time. She was so well behaved. But she loves to paint. We typically don't have children come because you never know. You don't want to distract from the women that are there, that have paid, you know, to come. But I knew Adley would be very well behaved, and she was, and she did an awesome job painting. She was a joy to have. So I've got the paint party in 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember. I have to look at the date. And then after that paint party, I'm going to try to do something online. So many of you have sent me a message over the last month wanting to know when I was going to do an online course, because you don't live close enough to come to an in-person one. So I am trying to work that out. Trying to decide what we're going to pay. I've got one for the spring already picked out, but I haven't picked anything out for winter or Christmassy for an online course. What would y'all like to do? Give me some ideas of if there's something you would like to do, that you would prefer to do. Put Christmas if you would want to do a Christmas, or put just winter if you would like to do winter. Okay, let me get a little bit of wax paper. This is, the grain has raised up on it after getting it wet with that paint. Some woods will do that and some don't. This one did. So I'm going to go ahead and dry it really well, and then I'm going to smooth it out with wax paper. I'm going to crumble it up and just smooth it out really well. How old is Adley now, Renee? I can't keep up with all these kids. They're growing so fast. Our little baby Jack is starting, it's called Mommy's Day Out. It's 3 days a week for 4 hours. He starts tomorrow, and I'm a basket case. And I know he's gonna do great, but I told her I should have had a shirt made for him to wear the first day. On one side that says Grammy and then my phone number, and then on the other side, Grandma, his other grandma, with her phone number on it. Okay, and I'm just, with this wax paper, just smoothing it out. Now it's just as smooth as it can be. I got a little bit of paint. Somehow I must have had it on my finger. There we go. Like it never happened. Okay, let's go ahead and do some shading around him with some dark chocolate. I've got so many brushes that I've not even opened that I bought before we moved that I need to, and I'm sorry for the coughing, that I need to open and try out. And I'm just getting it a little bit wet. And we'll come back over it and darken it up just a little bit. And I think I'm going to go around the ears. Just going to get this other brush here to get some moisture on it. I'm going to leave this open. So I'm just dipping my angle brush into that dark chocolate. Just working it around there kind of blindly because this light tonight has me blinded. And then we'll color the inside of his ears. These would be a really good one to batch paint. Do several at a time. A little more water. And I think we'll go around the antlers with the honey brown. Let's go ahead and get some water on here. I have not posted y'all a recent picture of that sewing machine planter that I have with the potato vine and some other flowers in it. It has just gone crazy. My other flowers are doing really good too. I've been fertilizing them once a week and watering them every day. And they've been so pretty. I almost let them, the flowers, I almost let them die. I wasn't giving them enough water. I do turn my pieces a lot without even thinking about it. Let that one dry just a little bit. Toffee, yes, Deco Art Toffee. So here's the honey brown, and then here's the toffee. Now when I do an online course, I go slower, and it's usually a 3-night course. Okay, let that dry for just a second. Darken this up just a little. Okay, so I'm adding a little more of that. It's still a little bit wet, but I'll go back in and add just a little bit more. I'm gonna get a little bit bigger brush. Now you could also just mist this with a mister to get it wet. And I've got one sitting there. I'm just too lazy to reach over there and get it. Some of the brush handle was coming off on it. Okay, so we'll go down around his face. This is a number 9 Keep Smiling angle brush. I ordered them off of Amazon. They have several different kinds. Okay, that looks dark enough there. Shading really makes a difference in your piece. Even if you just do a little bit on it. A lot of people are really afraid to try the shading, but I practiced for a long, long time on poster board. So it took a lot of, just a lot of practice, just learning how much water to use, how much is too much. Okay, let's see what the honey brown looks like around the antlers. Let water dry just a minute. 10 years old already. Oh, you would love an online course. Well, that's great to hear. The one I have prepared is a spring one, Barbara. So I'm glad you said that. That's what I was kind of thinking, but I was thinking, okay, do people want to do paint spring right now, that it's just now getting fall and Christmassy? But I thought if we did a spring one, then you would have your piece ready when it hits spring next year. Okay, I think I like the what do we call it? The honey brown shading on the antlers. Okay, I've got part of it done. I do like it better shaded. Hi, Miss Gina. Yeah, I don't have a text thing, but you can, if you click on the 3 dots that are on the page and click all notifications, it should notify you. Facebook should notify you when I go live. I don't have the texting service. That's really expensive. So I don't have that. Okay, and then we're going to do some little decorating on his antlers here in a minute. Add a little more down here. And I keep dipping my brush into water and just dabbing it off on my cloth. I have invited all the ladies that are painting Saturday at the paint party. I've invited them over to the house as soon as we get done, just for a quick tour and just to see where I live in case they place orders and want to come pick up the order. They'll know where I live. So I told Mr. Pam we're going to be gone most of the day. I'll be gone most of the day with the ladies. So he has to keep the house clean. He's really good about helping. I've got him trained well. Let's go ahead and put a little right. He's been so busy on our shed out back. Got some of that brown on there. That he hasn't been inside much to make a mess. I've been reading up and working hard, girls, because y'all have asked for it. How to do a membership. I did come up with a name. I'm not going to reveal that yet. There's a lot that goes into it, especially if you're like me and not a technical person. But I'm working hard on it. I hope to go live with it by next year. You know, we'll see how it goes, but I would paint some different things in it than what I paint on here, on different types of surfaces. I think that's one thing that you guys have said. And some more online courses. And then I would also have some guest presenters. And I'm working with somebody right now that I think would be able, she's got a laser cutter, but that I think would be able to help cut wood or maybe some orders. I don't want to, at my age, in this stage of life, I don't want to get so bogged down with, you know, having to just spend every moment I have working, filling orders, and not having time for family. So I don't want to get into that, you know, because I'm retired from my day job. But I love doing this, but you can easily get yourself into just working all the time. So I don't want to do that because you love it so much and you don't think of it as work. And then before you know it, you're just doing it all the time. Get some of that out a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put a nose on him. This is the inside of a piece of, let's see, what was it? Inside of tape, inside of the roll of Scotch tape. And I decided that would be the perfect size nose. So I just like to use whatever I've got laying around. So we're going to put his little nose right there. I'm just going to lightly draw around it. And that'll help me to get the placement of my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and base coat it in gray so it will be drying, and then we'll do it red because it's got to be Rudy. Hi, Linda. Thank you. Hello, Miss Jamie. I'll see you Saturday. Hi, Vicki. Jamie has a toddler little boy, and then you have a 4-month-old, Jamie. Is that correct? I have a cousin, it's actually on David's side. She had a little girl 5 years, I think it was 5 years, at least 5 years ago. And she was told after she had her that she would never have children again. She would not be able to have children. And, you know, they've tried and tried, but they were not able to have any more. So she has scheduled a hysterectomy. And guess what? No hysterectomy right now. She is expecting twins. She's 11 weeks along with twins. Can you believe that? I can, because that's what happened with Jennifer, our youngest. I was scheduling a hysterectomy and went to the doctor. We were trying to get everything scheduled, and they always, I didn't know this, but they always do a pregnancy test and everything on you before they finalize everything. And he said, Miss Savage, we can't do a hysterectomy right now. He said, for at least 9 months. So I was beyond excited. I always wanted 6 children. God had other plans. We had 4. I had 3 boys, and then we had Jennifer. And she was such a surprise and blessing. Of course, her brothers say she was always spoiled because she was the baby and a girl. And I won't deny it. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Not going to apologize. Okay, so we've got his nose base coated. I base coat, when I'm going to use red, I typically base coat in gray. It just helps that red cover better, and you don't have to do 1,500 shades of, layers of red on there. So I'm using Tuscan red for the nose. And I can usually get away with 2 coats. Kind of outlining it with this liner brush, and then I'll fill it in with an angle. Just smoothing it out. Okay, these tiles that I'm painting on, I've started using those. We just found them in the garage. They were left over from when they built the house. But they're so easy to clean off and everything, but they're noisy. I've gotten used to them, but you're probably trying to figure out what is that racket. Okay, now let's switch back to this little angle brush. We'll dry it and put one more coat on it. I think I could probably get away with just one, but I want to do two just to be sure. Thank you, Sandy. I know, Susie, it is exciting on my side of the family. I was hoping for twins, but we have several sets of twins and triplets on my side of the family. I ordered this shirt online. It says it's a good day to make some art. I just love the colors in it. We have a big tree out front in our house that we just moved into. It's like probably 3 or 4 times taller than the tree we had out in front at our old house out in the country. And I always had David I always helped him. We put lights all up in the tree. But it was just a smaller crepe myrtle. So I told David the other day, I said, how are we going to get lights up in this tree? He said, that is not happening. He said, there's no way I can get lights up in that tree. So I don't know. We'll have plenty of lights up, but it doesn't sound like I'm going to have lights in the tree. I might just get some kind of solar red or something light and shine up in it. This neighborhood has a man that comes around and puts up Christmas lights for them. And so when we bought the house, the owners said, we're just going to leave the lights with you since they're made custom to the house. So I said, okay. And they told me where they were. I went and looked at them, went and got them out of the attic or closet. And it was one small box, I would say maybe 2 feet by 1 foot box. And I said, okay, where are the others? And I said, no, that's it. I said, oh no, you don't understand. I am Miss Christmas. That will not do. I have 2 huge Rubbermaid things of Christmas lights, just the lights. Now I have about 15 big bins of Christmas decorations, which I'm going to have to let go of some of them because I do not have a place to put them all. But I'm going to get as many of them out as I can. You can bet that. Okay, let's do a little bit of pink in his ears. Well, first I want to go ahead and shade that nose before I forget. I'm going to shade it in Rockwood Red. So here's the Tuscan Red and then Rockwood. It's kind of a burgundy. Got a lot of brown in it. So let's go ahead and do that. Just the inside, and then we'll put some highlights on it too. Now, I'm used to a lot, would use, and I guess I still do, but deep burgundy is also pretty on red. You can do it in black. And it doesn't look like you're doing much at first, but then it dries darker. More room for gingers. You're right, Peggy, I will. It's got a ledge up above the cabinets all around, so I will definitely be putting some things on top of my cabinets. I just have a sign up there right now that says vintage, a big sign, and but you can bet there will be some Santas and probably mostly gingers because that's what I did my kitchen in out there. But I'll have to put some of my Santas up there too. Okay, still wet, but you can tell where that shading is. And let's go ahead and put a little bit of brown under his nose. Some of that dark chocolate. Just enough to give it some depth. I have a class that I'm going to go to in September. Can't remember the date right now. Got it on my calendar, so don't forget. And it's painting a pumpkin trio with Miss Connie Turner, I'm sorry. She's an amazing painter. So I'm trying to learn some things from her. Okay, and then we'll have the mouth coming down from there as well. All right, let's dry that and then get our little eyes drawn on. Thank you, Cindy. And we actually really ought to go all the way around that nose, now that I'm looking at it. Let's just do it. It won't take long. The lady next door sent me a text yesterday and said, "Are you busy?" I said, "No." She said, "Can you come over? I want to show you something." I had no idea what she was going to show me, if she'd made something. Well, she got a new little Yorkie puppy. A little bitty thing. So adorable. I say puppy. He's 4 years old, but he still looks like a puppy. Sweetest little thing. He had the best personality. You could tell he never meets a stranger. And his owners were moving to, I think she said New York. I can't remember for sure. I think she said New York. And they were not able to take him. His mom and dad were show dogs, show Yorkies. So he's very pretty. You could tell very well bred. Okay, let's draw that. I need a little more right there. No, I think we're good. I get puppy fever so bad. But then I just go get me a grand dog and then I'm over it. That takes care of it. We just are gone so much. I just don't know how we would keep one. Because I can't stand leaving them for hours and hours by themselves. Okay, now we're going to do the eyes and ears. So let's do inside the ears. I'm going to use baby pink. And I'm just going to dry brush some highlight in there. So I'm going to use this makeup brush, Wet n Wild. I got it at the dollar store. Work it down in those bristles. Then I'm going to get most of it off here on my hand. kind of tell by the feel when it's got just enough off, because it's not cool anymore. When you first put it on, it's real cool. And we're just gonna, in a circular motion, okay, so I'm gonna reload. Same thing, just gonna go in a circular motion, barely pressing down. Go in both directions, counterclockwise and clockwise. And remember, it always dries darker. Let's put a little right up here too. Okay, done with that one. So you've got just enough highlight to give him some pink in his ears. Now we could even shade around that pink, and I may, once I get done here, I'll look at it and decide if I want to. But let's take some of that brown, that dark chocolate, and put some little hairs in there. Switch into a small liner brush, and we'll just do one straight up, one out to the left, and one out to the right. It's like you're kind of doing eyelashes. Okay, I'm going to put a little white on here. Let's go ahead with that liner brush that I just got out, and let's do a little highlight on his nose. A little one on his ear, both ears. Whoops, sorry. Thanks, Miss Marie. Hi, Nancy. Okay, let's go ahead and do the eyes. We'll get those drawn on. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw one. So right here's about the center. So I'm going to draw one. Just going to do the eyes that I normally do. Okay, now I'm going to use my tracing paper. See how thin that is? So I can get the eye the same size as the one I just did. So I'm going to flip it over now so it looks like they're going the right direction. I'm going to get my graphite paper. That way I will have a mirror image of, I got paint on that because I didn't let that dry. We'll fix it. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide it under there. And that way we've got the exact eye that we have on the other side. Oops, I moved it. Sorry, I moved it with my hand. And with this tracing paper, you can see right through it so you can see where it needs to go. All right, let me hold it down. You can tape it if you want to, but as small as this is, we should be fine. I just let go of it. Okay, so I've got the exact same eye now, and we'll get that painted. I used to do, I'm actually going to come out just a little bit further with both of these. I used to paint the black part of the eye first, or blue, whatever color you're going to do the pupil. And then with a little bitty brush, fill in the white. It's so much easier, y'all. I don't know why it took me so many years to figure out, hey, just paint the whole thing white and then fill in with the black. So much easier. All right, so this is when they start coming to life, when you do the eyes. Always my favorite part. I'm using a round brush, but you could use a small angle or even flat. And I'll do 2 coats of it. I wanted to get the car all loaded with everything that I'm taking tomorrow to set up for the party with, but it is so hot here in North Texas that if I were to do that, everything would be melted by tomorrow. We had one day this week that got up to 107. That's too hot to have anything in the car. Okay, while that one's drying, let's go over here and fill this other one in. Me and my little tricks. Well, I've learned lots of tricks, Marie, because I am not technical. And I just have to do things the old school way. Like making his little nose out of the Scotch tape inside piece. That's what his little nose was made out of. I've had Procreate now for over a year. And have I sat down and figured it out? I tried. But then we started packing to move and everything, and I have not sat back down with it since. Bought a new iPad just for that reason, and I have not learned it. So I need to get busy. I need Becca to show me how. That's what I need. I need Becca for a month. Can I borrow Becca for a month? These kids can figure it out on their own. They don't need any help. Okay, so I'm putting the second coat on this first eye. And ladies, if you have a Facebook page that you go live on, or a business that you sell out of while I'm live, please feel welcome to link your business on here or put your name of your business. I don't know if Facebook likes us putting links. I really don't know. I've heard that they don't, but if you just put the name of your Facebook page, just say it's Facebook or your Etsy shop or whatever you want to put on here. While I'm live, I don't mind at all. Since I gave out, I mailed Roxy's Happy Mail and her pumpkin that she ordered that I was painting live the other day. I mailed those out. I was at 1,800. That's why she got Happy Mail, because every time I hit 100 new followers, I do a drawing for Happy Mail, and she won it, and I've already got 15 more since last week, 15 more followers. So excited. You guys are awesome for sharing the videos out. Okay, let's put a little bit more. Mainly just around where it's going to show, because that black's going to cover it up. Or we may do blue eyes. I'm not sure yet. Let's see what we want to do. We'll do black and just do some blue around them. Let me dry those though. And then I'm going to take my pencil and draw the inside pupil. Did Becca start school this week, Marie? Our kiddos started in Howe. In Sherman. Oops, missed a spot. I can see it once I've raised up. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top of the eye. Now we could have him looking off that way, or we can have him looking straight. So I think we'll just have him looking straight. And when I erased that eye, I did not get them exactly the same. But you know what? They're all right. I can go back and fix it. Even doing my little tracing, I changed it and then messed it up. After Labor Day. She gets her a good break then. All of my grandchildren but one are homeschooled. And they love it. There's so much support out there now, help for homeschooling. When my kids were little, there was just not much of anything. Okay, now let's do the mouth. And I'll show you a different way to do it. Let's just use a chalk pencil and decide how we're going to do our mouth. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to do it like that. And I'm going to do a little bit of that brushing on for, I don't see where my other brush went. There it went. For his cheeks. Let's do, should I do the cheeks pink like in the ears or red? The brushing for them, the dry brushing. Pink or red? Pink or red, pink or red. Okay, y'all, so for his cheeks, now we're gonna fix his eyes. I'm gonna dry brush some cheeks on here. Do I need to do them pink like we did the ears or light red close to the nose? What do y'all think? Help, help. Peggy Wilson said red, she's the first one. So red it is. Good choice, Miss Peggy. Okay, and now he's got some cute little cheeks. Get that off my hand before I get it on my shirt or something. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the mouth and the inside of the eyes. So we need to get our black out. Blackout. Oh, hope we don't have any blackouts. As hot as this temperature's been. But this house that we're in now is across the street. We can't see it because of all the trees, which I'm glad, but it's got a hospital, a rehab center right behind us. And they're on a generator, their grid, and so we don't lose power because we're on the same thing that they are. Okay, so for the mouth, I used a chalk pencil because I'm just freehanding it. And then if I didn't like it, I could just wipe it off. But I'm okay with what we did. So I'm going to start up here with the eyes first so that I can work down here and not rub my hand across them. So let's get some pupils in there. And I've got my small little liner brush that I'm going to line it and then we'll fill it in. Also need to do him some little, under his eyes, some dry brushing. I didn't think about that. So watered my paint down just a little bit so that lining goes a little smoother. Too much water in that stroke. So I'm going to dry it off and then just kind of walk it out here and dry it and then go around it again. Okay, and let's fill it in, and then we'll line the bottom. We'll do a little bit of dry brushing though for his cheeks, or I think I'll just float his cheeks. Let's do that first. I'm just going to float with some pink. So floating is the same thing as shading. Floating is the technique. If it's darker than your base color, it's called shading. If it's lighter, it's called highlighting. But floating is the actual technique. Trying to decide, do I want to do it in pink? I think so. And right now he looks a little scary with his eyes the way they are. Now let's go back to that little liner brush. And do the line right under the eye. And then just lift up. Right above where we just floated. Okay, so you barely see that pink under there. Okay, let's fill in that eye. I didn't know until just a little bit before I went live what I was even going to try to do. And then we'll put a little bit of blue around the outer edge. Going to outline the outside of his eye. And then we'll do some eyebrows and some eyelashes. Let's round this one out a little more. Okay, and I'm going to use Anita's Heavy Fog to go around that black. And then we'll put his pupils in, and we'll do his mouth, and still want to do something to his antlers. Okay, I'm going to use this same round brush. Thanks, Miss Marie. Okay, so Marie, you and Peggy both got. We got red for the cheeks and pink for the eyes, so you both got your color. Normally, I would bring the round brush to a point, but I've kind of got it flattened. And just barely going to go around that. All the way up to the top. You could also float this around. But I'm putting it on kind of thin so it almost looks like it was floated. Okay, let's give him a twinkle. We're going to do the TX, not T-Rex, but TX sparkle. Okay, so you make a T, tall T. In both eyes. And I'm barely putting any pressure at all. And that had some water in it. Okay, I don't like that one because it had some water in it and I didn't realize it, so I'm gonna clean that up with some more black over it because I don't want it real thick. So let's put some more black in there and let it be drying. All right, there we go. Okay, so tall T. Much better. Thin. Can y'all hear my air conditioner when it comes on and off? I just thought about that. I can hear it really well. Okay, and then right down the middle, you want to make sure you get your X going through the middle, and you want it short. Okay, so the T-Rex. Now I'm going to take my stylus. You can use the tip of your handle of your brush if you don't have a stylus. But I'm going to make a dot. Just going to load it up. And we're going to put a dot right in the middle. And then I need to outline the eye around in black. Now, be careful with that dot because it's still wet. It will be wet. You haven't noticed it? Okay, good. And then he needs some eyelashes, or she. No, Rudolph is a boy. Very, very little pressure. But you know, most boys have prettier eyelashes than girls do. Now, girls wear all these false eyelashes, but a lot of times the boys' eyelashes are so pretty and long. And they could care less. And we spend money trying to get them. Okay, now that that blue's dry, I'm going to go back in a little bit. And do a second little coat. Because once it dried, I can see that white through there. Okay, let's do some eyebrows and eyelashes. He's getting cute. And you want to be careful with eyelashes. Let me show you right quick with this chalk pencil. If I just do straight lines, I can do straight lines like this. And it looks okay. I mean, he looks good with those. But if I do them like this, look how that changes his expression. Look how mad he is. So just two little lines can completely change the look of your piece. So be very careful doing the eyebrows. I saw someone do a Santa a couple of weeks ago, and it was a beautiful Santa, so pretty. But she did the eyebrows in the wrong direction, and he was a very, very unhappy or mad Santa. Okay, we're just going to do arches. Okay, let's do some eyelashes. Looks like we might get some rain. I hope so. We need rain so bad here. Okay, so we're going to go long, short, long, short, reload, long, short. You can even put some little short ones in between those. So long, short, long, short, and I'm starting just where the outline of my eye is. You don't want to get it in the white. And long, short, long, and some little ones in between those. And let's do some coming off the sides. So I go up, out, and then straight. So up, out, and straight. All right, let's work on that mouth. I'm going to switch to a longer liner brush. Connie. Miss Connie that just hopped on is the one I was telling you about earlier that paints so pretty, and I'm going to go to one of her classes next month. Can y'all believe August is basically just gone? Where did it go? Okay, so we've done our dry brushing. I still may do a little bit of shading around the pink. Let's go ahead and do our mouth. Not much pressure. And I'm letting my arm guide me. I'm not twisting my hand. I'm keeping my arm straight. Y'all, I got a new, it's from the puppy dog, getting so excited with her little toenail. Got me. Got me good. And within just seconds, it was already turning blue. Just so delicate. That's a nice way of saying I'm so old. Okay, so let's do some little smile lines. Now, we can do the smile lines going this way, or we can do them this way. I've seen them both ways. I think I'll do them this way. And then we got to do the bottom of his mouth, or the opening of his mouth. And if I have any chalk line that's showing, once it's dry, I just wash it off. Just wipe it off with a baby wipe or damp cloth, either one. Switched back to my round brush and just filling it in. And I am putting some pressure on my brush now, just kind of flattening it out. We'll put a little tongue in there. Now that that black looks like it's covered really well, but once you dry it, sometimes that black can be a little deceiving. Once you dry it, it needs a second coat on it. Let's go ahead and put a dot in his little cheeks. And get a second coat on here. And then we'll do his antlers. Dry that, and I'm going to dry his little tongue. I'm going to do the tongue first in gray, since we're going to put red in there. Remember that gray really helps your red to cover. And I'm just doing basically a little M. Okay, and then let's cover it with red. So that's what we've got so far. So if you're watching the replay, right now we're live, but if you're going back and watching the replay, be sure to put hashtag replay. So we will know you were here. And thank you. And thanks to all of you that have been sharing out my videos. It has helped. I've got 15 new followers since last week when we gave that Happy Mail away. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, did we do any green? And while I'm thinking about it, I need to fix his nose where I rubbed across it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put a little highlight. And that was really too thick with this brush, so I'm going to go back in. And do it with the thinner one. Okay, and we have the tongue. Now, the way we did the middle of the eyes, that's the way I do my snowflakes a lot of times too. Only I would put instead of a dot just in the middle, I would put a dot at each end of each line. And that makes it look more like a snowflake. But you don't want snowflakes in his eyes. Okay, so now let's do some curly cues. Not curly cues, but dots. Let's see if I've got my daughters over here. Okay, I've got three different sizes. Nope, 2 different sizes. I don't know where my little bitty one is. Oh, there they are. And we may just go with these 2. That one's going to be too big, so we'll just go with these 2. And let's do some green. So I'm just getting it on my plate, working it in there. And these, I need some new daubers. I need to invest in some new ones. I've about worn these out. So we're going to press down, turn a full circle, and lift up. But I forgot, I want to go ahead and get some highlight in there. So I'm putting a little bit of white just on one edge. Kind of blowing those bubbles down. So you've got a natural highlight. Okay, so we'll load it again. Get some more white on there. And we'll do one up here. And Okay, so we've got some green. Now let's go for some, let's do gray, and then we'll go over it with red. Dry that because we're going to go over it with red. And then we'll do some white. If we can get the hair out of it. Pressing down, turning, blowing some bubbles out. Okay, now let's put some white in there. I've got one more dauber over here. Oh, I forgot to do that red one. I did the red one in the wrong place. Okay, we're going to put a white one here. Should have had a red one right there. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're not really in any order. But, okay, so I think that's all of the, let's put a little more green. That green's really showing through. It's Anita's brand, so it's kind of thin. We are almost done. Okay, let's do a little bit of outlining. He's getting there. So let's do a few highlights here and there. And let's do around some around his antlers, and I've got a big one up here that I'm looking at. Let's do white first, and then we might do some black. Could even put some snow on him. Nah, we won't do that. Just a few squiggles here and there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing in black. Kind of got off the edge there, but he's all right. Okay, do you see anything else he needs? What do you think? I've got to do the edges. I mean, I'll clean up the edges with a black marker. See if I've got one sticking out here. Okay, this is black. I get these at Dollar Tree. They're back in the car wash department where you get stuff for car washing. And they come 3 to a package, black and then a walnut, and I can't remember the other color. But instead of painting, and I need to clean this up here just a little bit on these dots, but I won't do that. But instead of painting, see, I told you I wasn't going to be careful with the edges because I knew I was going to go over it. So with these markers, look at that. You can't even tell that paint was there. They're so fast. And just see if I can do this without sticking my finger where there's wet paint. I usually wait till it dries. I can usually get 2, 3, or 4 good-sized door hangers out of one marker. And sometimes I use the other colors too, but mostly I use the black. And even if it's not a laser cut edge, it makes it look like it's a laser cut edge. And it's just fast, easy, and just makes your project look so finished. And this wood had a little bit of chipping on the edges, but it just filled it right in. Now, I suppose you could do this with a regular marker, just a permanent marker as well. I don't know. But I let it dry really well before I seal it, because I don't want it reactivating. I spray one very, very light coat on it, and then do my heavy coat, my second coat. Okay. Done, done, done. Got one right here that I can't get it in between that antler and the ear. So I'll use a little paintbrush to do that one. Look how clean those edges are. All right, ladies, let me bring you up here. And we did it in under 2 hours. 10 minutes under 2 hours. So, but there's our little guy. And I may go in and do some little twirlies in those dots or something to kind of liven those up just a little bit. But there you go. You use Jot markers from Dollar Tree. Oh, I haven't tried those. They're in the school supplies. Oh, that's good to know. Hi, Dolores. Thank you so much for watching. All right, there you go. Don't forget to sprinkle out the video to your pages, please. And those of you that are coming to the in-person paint party Saturday, I can't wait to see you. I've got everything ready to go and packed up and just waiting to be put in the car. And I will go tomorrow night. Mr. Pam and I are going to go set the tables up and get everything ready for you. All right, you girls have a wonderful weekend. I can't believe it's already Friday tomorrow. But thanks for hanging out with me while we painted this little guy. Typically, it takes me longer than 2 hours to do something like this, so I'm trying to get faster. Sometimes I'm just not. All right. Thank you so, so much. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to go back and answer any that you have. I will look at those, but I appreciate you being on here so much. You don't know how much you mean to me. Thank you. Bye-bye, ladies.